Welcome to the Plan B CRNA podcast. I'm your host, Bobby Jones, and I'm so excited that you're here. The Plan B CRNA podcast is the only show made specifically for nurse anesthetists who are exploring options outside of their traditional career paths. This is the place to expand your mind and your goals as we uncover new ways to produce side income together. Journey with me as I go down various rabbit holes to explore the best Plan B options for you. This episode is brought to you by On-Call Capital. On-Call Capital is dedicated to educating CRNAs and other healthcare providers about investing outside of the traditional stock market. On-Call Capital also provides opportunities for you, yes you, to create passive income and generational wealth while also lowering your taxable income through investments in the apartment and alternative investment spaces. If you haven't hit subscribe yet, make sure you do that right now so that you don't miss an episode. Thanks so much for joining me today, and now, on with the show. Welcome to the rabbit hole on the Plan B CRNA podcast. I'm your host, Bobby Jones. And before we get started, I have to tell you about our current offering, the Verdier at Herman Park Apartments in the heart of Houston, Texas. This is our third partnership with QC Capital, and each investment has performed at or above expectations so far, with our first offering selling in just 20 months. This is a Class A asset with spacious 1, 2, and 3-bedroom apartments and convenient access to major employers like Texas Medical Center. The Verdier has annualized returns projected at 15% or more and an equity multiple above 1.6x over a short 4-year period. If you're interested in this investment opportunity, make sure you reach out to me at bobby@oncallinvestments.com today. All right, here we go. Throughout my journey in finding a Plan B, I've gone down numerous rabbit holes to figure out which ones work for me. Since I've done some of this research already, I only think it's right to bring that information to fellow healthcare professionals to help aid in your search. As always, it's important for you, the listener, to do your own research and form your own opinions. Everyone's situation is unique, and a Plan B that works for one CRNA doesn't always work for another. Self-awareness is the key in any decision you make, since you must have an accurate grasp of your own strengths, weaknesses, and goals. Today's topic is inspired by my recent dive into audiobook narration. What I found is that this particular opportunity is much wider in scope and potentially more lucrative as a result. Our rabbit hole of the day is, dun, 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 voiceover work. Voiceover jobs include animation voice actors, educational video performers, business voiceover artists, podcast actors, advertisement actors, phone message voice actors, and video game characters, just to name a few. They are also increasingly being used to create interactive experiences and as a tool for businesses to create more engaging experiences for their customers. The opportunities vary wildly, and so do the expected financial returns that you can expect. According to ZipRecruiter, entry-level voice actors can make between $13,500 to $32,000 per year. Not great, right? Mid-level voice actors can expect to make between $69,000 to $87,500 per year. Not too shabby. And experienced voice actors average between $111,500 to $200,000 per year. So yeah, there's some wide variance. The voice industry itself is a big one. In 2020, the global voiceover industry was estimated to be worth over $5 billion, with an expected growth rate of 8.5% per year. As I just mentioned, voiceover artists are in demand in many different industries, and that demand is only growing. The voiceover industry is also becoming more competitive. Professional voiceover artists are expected to have an excellent vocal range and flexibility, as well as the ability to adapt to different styles and genres. In addition, they must be comfortable with the technology and software that's used for their work. It's clear that the voiceover industry is a large and growing one that requires talented artists to make it successful. As the industry continues to grow, more opportunities will become available to those who are passionate about their craft. Do you think you have what it takes? Well, to answer that, let's talk about the skills that you actually need to be successful as a voice actor. There are a few skills and some equipment that's needed to successfully audition and land yourself some gigs. First, enunciation. One of the top skills a voice actor should practice is speaking clearly so that their audience can easily understand what they're saying. This is a skill that may take some practice depending on your current talent level. Vocal pacing and pausing. Aspiring voice actors should also work on speaking at the right speed for the material. Not too fast, not too slow. They should also know how to use pauses and silences to full effect. Next is inflection. Different material requires different inflection. Should your delivery be entertaining, authoritative, or neutral? Reading for a sleep mattress commercial is decidedly less animated than reading a commercial for a monster truck rally. What type of work is your particular voice best suited for? Next is recording equipment. If you don't have access to a studio, or you just want to work from home, you'll need to set up an in-home recording studio to produce quality audio recordings. There are 3 main pieces of equipment that you'll need: a laptop or tablet, a professional-grade microphone with USB capabilities, and editing software such as Audacity, which is simple to use and happens to be free, or Pro Tools, Descript, or Adobe Audition. This can cost you only a couple $1,000s in the beginning, but professional upgrades later on may cost you into the tens of thousands, depending on how much you actually want to spend. Keep in mind, though, roughly 46% of voice actors spend under $1,000 on their own setup, choosing instead to put their money into talent development. And finally, you need demos. Creating a reel of the voice acting work that you've done is also known as a demo reel, and it's going to help you get your foot in the door for auditions and casting calls. A project producer may even hire you based on your demo reel alone. Be consistent with taking auditions and regularly update your demo so that you can land gigs and broaden your voice acting portfolio. Next, let's discuss the steps you should take to start your own career as a voiceover artist. There are 5 main steps. Number 1, get trained. There are 2 basic ways to do this. You can take acting classes, or you can hire a voice coach. You can also take voiceover classes and workshops and seek the advice of professionals in the industry. It just depends on the types of roles that you're actually looking for. In class, you can learn how to adapt your approach based on the type of performance needed in order to land a broader variety of roles. With a coach, you'll get personalized feedback and support for developing your own character voice. Number 2, you need to build a portfolio. You'll need to create that demo reel that showcases your vocal range, style, and ability to take direction. This is the first step to actually getting jobs, and it helps casting directors get a feel for determining your talent and range. You can also use the demo reel for finding an agent to help you land those jobs. Apparently, creating a demo reel isn't too challenging so long as you have a good microphone and easy-to-use editing software, as mentioned earlier. However, don't be afraid to check out Fiverr or Upwork to see if someone can provide you with a more polished version while you're still working out your own editing kinks. It may also be helpful to reach out to your individual coach or instructor for advice in creating your reel. Number 3, networking. It takes talent to succeed, but it also takes connections with people in the industry. You can utilize social media platforms to promote yourself and engage and interact with people in your network. You can join voiceover online or in-person industry networks and organizations, and attend events and conferences if that's what you enjoy. You'll want to make sure to keep up with industry trends and stay ahead of the competition. But that doesn't mean everyone is out to get you. On the contrary, building relationships with other voice actors can be quite beneficial, since you may refer work to each other when your schedules are full. As is often said, a rising tide lifts all boats. Now, on to number 4, regular practice. You'll find it helpful to practice your voiceover skills daily and record your own audio to keep track of your progress. This should be more than just reading a script out loud, as you hone both your voice acting skills and your technical skills. This means recording yourself so that you can practice using your equipment and editing. You can listen back to your performance and critique it. The more services you can provide, the more likely you are to land clients and keep them coming back. Number 5, audition consistently. This is a competitive field, so you have to keep at it. If you're working with an agency, your agent will find opportunities on your behalf. But if you're working on your own, you can find open casting auditions on job boards and sites like voices.com and backstage.com. To stay on track, you should probably set daily or weekly goals for how many voiceover jobs you want to apply for, particularly when you're first starting out. Having a quota can help you stay accountable and motivated while increasing your overall odds of landing a gig. Now, it's time for my favorite part of the show, pros and cons. The first is a pro. Flexibility. Voiceover artists have the opportunity to work from anywhere at any time. This makes it possible to work around other commitments and obligations such as family and other jobs. Con, competition. The voiceover industry is highly competitive, and it can be difficult to stand out among other talented artists. Getting gigs can be challenging, particularly in the beginning. Pro, there's a variety of projects out there. Voiceover artists can take on a variety of projects, including audiobooks, video games, commercials, animations, and more. This wide range means there is room for every voice style or talent out there. Con, technical challenges. Voiceover artists must be comfortable with the technology and software used for their work. This may be a huge learning curve for some and an insurmountable one for the more technically challenged out there. Our final pro, creative freedom. Voiceover artists have the freedom to explore their creativity and find their own unique voice and style. This can be a really wonderful, soulful experience that not many other industries can offer. And finally, our last con, low pay. Many voiceover jobs don't pay very well, and it can take time to build up a steady stream of work and income. That doesn't mean it will always be low, especially after you become more established, but it certainly does not happen overnight. Now, this guide is far from all-encompassing, but don't worry. I have you covered with the links in the show notes. In particular, Voices.com has a comprehensive, easy-to-follow guide that I think is really valuable. There are also several books on the subject, so let's highlight a few of those. First, The Anywhere Voice Actor, Voiceover Handbook on Remote Voice Acting by Sarah Sikora. Sarah is a professional voice actress who reflects on her years of experience from recording on the floor of her closet to becoming a full-time professional. She identifies and outlines clear-cut methods that you can use to find your start and carve your own unique career path. Next is The Voiceover Voice Actor, the extended edition by Yuri Lowenthal and Tara Platt. Each of these authors has extensive experience in stage, screen, and voice acting, and they co-founded Monkey Kingdom Productions. In the book, they explore the ins and outs of auditioning, vocal warm-ups and exercises, tips for reading copy, and hints to help you stand out, and a whole lot more. I mean, it's essentially a soup to nuts thing here. And finally, there's Voiceover 101, How to Succeed as a Voice Actor, second edition, by Debbie Derryberry and Jennifer Tresson. For those of you who aren't familiar with Debbie, she is the voice of the animated Jimmy Neutron character. And this book is designed for anyone from beginner to pro, and it's truly comprehensive in its scope. You'll also receive access to her video library, where you can learn Debbie's tricks of the trade firsthand. Now, that's going to do it for the show. As always, I'd like to thank you for listening to the Plan B CRNA podcast. If you found value today, make sure you hit subscribe and give us a 5-star review. This show only grows because of you, so make sure you share it with a friend, family member, or colleague to help them on their own passive income journey. I also want to hear from you. If you have a question, comment, or rabbit hole topic that you'd like me to cover in an upcoming show, just put it in your review of the podcast. I check those all the time and cover those questions in future episodes. If you'd like to know more about me and gain access to passive income opportunities like our current offering in Houston, make sure to find me on Facebook, LinkedIn, or visit my website at www.oncallinvestments.com. This is Bobby Jones signing off. Until next time, stay safe and take care of each other out there. Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of the Plan B CRNA podcast. If you haven't already subscribed and reviewed the show, I'd be honored if you took the extra time. It really helps to expand our reach and get the word out about the show. If you're a CRNA who is interested in sharing your story on our podcast, I'd love to have you. Please email me at bobby@oncallinvestments.com for more information. This episode was brought to you by On-Call Capital. They are dedicated to helping providers like you develop passive income and generational wealth through investments in the apartment and alternative investment spaces. Feel free to check out their website at www.oncallinvestments.com and subscribe to their free educational email series. You can find On-Call Capital on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. You can also check out our YouTube page, where you'll find all of the show episodes along with other educational videos. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you on the next episode.